Today I have the pleasure of introducing a new book on manufacturing excellence. Many of my friends in my client companies as well as in corporate circles have been asking for me to suggest some book on manufacturing excellence. A book which is practical, a book which they can actually handhold and use it for implementation purposes. So I picked up this book from my shelf, and 12 Principles of Manufacturing Excellence, A Leader's Guide to Achieving and Sustaining Excellence, Larry E. Fast. Now it talks of these 12 principles very beautifully, and that's why this book has been actually picked up by Productivity Press, pioneers in publishing books on management consulting, particularly productivity, manufacturing excellence, and lean manufacturing. The author, Larry Fast, is well experienced. He has actually put in his all years of experience into this book on manufacturing excellence. He has very extensive experience in US industry, in wire and cable, where he has worked for a very long time, and he has written very beautifully about his innings as a manufacturing veteran. And the book has been presented very well in two sections, with 12 chapters in section number 1 and from chapter number 13 to 22 in section number 2. So in section number 1, he introduces the 12 principles that he is talking of, and in section 2, he talks of the roles of various functional managers like plant manager, the manufacturing manager, the materials manager, the finance manager, the HR manager, the engineering manager, maintenance manager, the process engineering manager, and what's their role in manufacturing excellence. That has been very beautifully presented. And chapter 22 is very important, because that's where he's talking of his results. He's talking about he's claiming about what has he achieved. So the gains, once you apply these 12 principles, what you can see. So his side of the story as to what were the gains once he applied these 12 principles. If you look at these 12 principles also, there also in each principle, whether it is safety, 5S, preventive maintenance, everywhere he's talking of various stages: stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, stage. So he's graduating from one stage to the other. So he has explained, very practically, because it's not possible for you to go straight from one stage to the final stage. So it takes time to gradually grow from one stage to the other. And that's where, once you go to the final stage, you sustain. So if you look at these appendixes also are very, very nicely written, and he has attached, in fact, one CD-ROM also, where you can look at the various formats, and you can also look at various Excel sheets where you can do some audits. The manufacturing excellence audit, MEA, example of communication plan, example of training plan, and Excel worksheets and standard formulas. So their purpose is to provide the user with sample templates for reference. So if you look at these 12 principles, very briefly, I'll share with you the secret of this book. I'll not elaborate, but I'll touch upon these 12 principles, which are very useful for Indian manufacturing sector. These are, although known to everybody, but then in a consolidated form, being available in the form of a book is not so easily available. So it is there in this book in that form. So it's a kind of handbook for you to refer. And for your training purposes also, I think it serves a purpose. So whether it is an SME or a large organization, I think these 12 principles are quite handy. So safety is the cornerstone of high performance. That's the first principle. The second is good housekeeping and organization are expected all the times. Then disciplined use of authorized formal systems is required to ensure data integrity of BOM, bill of material, routers, labor, scrap, inventory records, etc. Then fourth principle is preventive predictive maintenance systems will be routinely used to plan and schedule equipment and facilitate maintenance. And undependable plan delivers poor customer service and disappoints shareholders. Process capability will be measured on all key processes with the control expectation of more than 4 sigma and 1.33 CPK. So use of SPC. This is principle number 5. Principle number 6 is operators are responsible for product quality. They don't pass on a defective product to the next process. And 7th is the product will be manufactured on time, OTIF, and to the original and agreed upon delivery promises. 8th is evidence of visual management will be prominent throughout the plant with key metrics at each work center, Kanbans, end-on lights, audio alarms, etc. Then continue and color coding. And the 9th is Kaizen, continuous improvement will result in relentless productivity improvement year over year, forever. 10th is a comprehensive purposeful communication plan, which will be basically in place and executed in every plant on rolling 12-month basis. So a roadmap with a very clear objective. Then 11th is a comprehensive purposeful training plan, which will be in place and executed in every plant on a rolling 12-month basis. Then all 12th and final is all associates will help to create and sustain a shop floor environment where the operator is in control of process known as operator-led process control, OLPC. So his focus is on the operator, how important the operator is all about. And he has talked about some principles in the final chapter, which is very interesting. And he says, make sure you have the right people on the bus and make sure you get the wrong people off the bus and make sure you have the right people in the right seats on the bus. Very beautifully written. And he has also presented some tables where he writes, the matrix is there before and after, what the numbers were before and what the numbers are. So whether it is the breakdown times or the OE, the rejects, or it is the scrap improvement, RIP, or it is WIP, or it is the audit numbers, or it is cycle times, or it is WIP, or it is table times. So those numbers which measure the excellence, okay, the productivity, etc., etc. So productivity, quality, costs, delivery times, all these things are before and after. You can always measure and see the rest of the story. And he says that maintain a healthy level of dissatisfaction with the status quo every day. These are the tips he's giving to the leadership, and have high expectation and hold people accountable for results. Very good tips. Communicate with passion. A clear priority set. Don't pass the buck when there is a bad news, and run to the problems and deal with them head on. And you can see the opportunities that others can't see as leaders. And you are the ones who care the most and make everyone around them better. Know when it's time to leave. And he writes very beautifully. One says every morning in Africa, a gazelle wakes up. It knows it must run faster than the fastest lion or it will be killed. Every morning, a lion also wakes up and it knows it must outrun the slowest gazelle or it will starve to death. It doesn't matter whether you are a lion or a gazelle. When the sun comes up, you had better be running. So this has been taken by one of the author's office. It is one of the pictures which is there in the author's office. So that shows his mindset that that's excellence. Okay. So when the sun comes up, you had better be running. That's excellence. So very nicely written. The book is, I really enjoyed reading this book, and it's on my table all the time. I refer to it very frequently, and a very good reference book for manufacturing managers, for CEOs, for plant heads, and training managers, and you can get a lot of tips out of it, and it will be, I think, very useful for the Indian industry. Not a very expensive book. It's easily available, and if you have any problem, if you want to discuss anything after you have read the book with me, you are most welcome to get in touch with me at www.kaizenguru.in. Wonderful talking to you guys. Thank you.